Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this from. My name is Maryanne and welcome to another episode, to our third episode of Original Conversations with Maryanne. I am your host. My name is Maryanne Wanjiro Kibuchi and I am the CEO of Originally Maryanne brand. I am a psychologist where I show up as a mediapreneur, and this means that I specialize in creating positive mental health content, and I show up as a mental health show host and also an upcoming author. And today, in today's episode, I'm very excited because we are in our third topic and we are following through some of the topics that I had outlined, where we are going to be talking about originality, and that means we are going to be talking about, since it is this show is about helping you become the best version of yourself and to also heal your mental health. We are going to be talking about original identity. We are going to be talking about original intellect. We are going to be talking about original emotions, how to have original emotions. We're also going to talk about how to have an original career. We're also going to talk about original wealth, which is original finances. We are also going to talk about how we are going to reclaim our original mental health and how we can have an original life. So welcome. I'm very excited that you are here. I really want to take this time to appreciate each and every one of you who has taken the time to like, share, subscribe, and also comment on our videos and sharing with us the things that you're learning so that we are able to grow together and I can know the areas I can be able to serve you in. So today, in today's episode, I'm referring to my notes here. I hope you I hope you don't mind if I look. I really need to follow through what I'm sharing with you guys. But in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about original intellect. Now, I was just sharing with my friend here that I have been when I was doing my notes yesterday, I was writing about original intellect. I almost cried because I realized that this is one of the areas that I have personally experienced and I have personally had. And as I reclaim my original identity, as I heal my mental health, as I try to heal the trauma, as I work on healing the trauma that I've currently experienced in all my life, as I try to rebuild my life, as I try to reclaim back my personal power and resilience, there are some of the things that I'm not just showing up here to just tell you stuff that to do, but I'm also actually working out the things that I'm telling or I'm sharing with you. These are things that I have personally battled with. And so one of the areas is the area of intellect, and that involves the mind. So what do I mean by intellect, or what is intelligence? Because we are going to be talking about intelligence. Well, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, they describe intelligence as the ability to apply knowledge, to manipulate one's environment, or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria such as tests. And we have seen this, that there are several ways we have been exposed to going to school, and we do tests, and for some of us, we have actually been good in school. We have been good in either primary, secondary, or depending on your school system, how you call it. For us as Kenyans, we call it primary, secondary, high school. We also have university, we have colleges. So depending on where you have been, or the knowledge and universally what you have seen across the world, is something that is consistent, is for us going to school, and then we are subjected to tests. And sometimes for some of the children, they actually do well in tests. Other children, they don't do so well in tests. And unfortunately, we have seen how children, those who do not do well in tests, especially in the Kenyan context, before, right now it's changing, but in the previous 844 system, we have seen how there was a very big emphasis on children getting A's or getting marks over 500, or maybe it was out of 500, so getting over 400 marks, that child was considered intelligent, and for a child who got maybe 100 and something marks, they were not as good. Or for somebody in high school and university, those who actually got A's, they were considered very good and they were celebrated in society. But those who got E's and D minuses and D's, they are not considered as good, and they are, not as celebrated as these other children. And so I think that's why I was thinking about this topic, and I was really saddened by, some of the things that I've seen. And even for myself, I am very sad because of maybe I will share my story one of these fine days, but at some point in high school, I started struggling with depression, and I started doing bad in school, and I didn't have somebody to affirm me that I'm actually good, or I'm actually intelligent enough, and that the fact that I'm failing in school does not mean that I'm not, it's not like I'm stupid, or the fact that, because I was so good at drama, I was good at extracurricular activities, but I guess it was by way of coping with the traumatic experiences I had experienced, or the sad experiences I had experienced over time and had experienced from my childhood. So it has started, like, the depression had started to kick in, but that story I will share in another day. For now, I just want us to talk about how you can reclaim your original intelligence and why it is important. Now, excuse me. Did you know that there are actually types of intelligences? There's something that I'm very grateful for to my mother, because without her help, I will not have probably done psychology. And like I said, I'm probably going to do a video sharing a bit out of my story so that you can know where I'm coming from. Because as a psychologist, you don't just you may have gone to school, but life is always giving you tests and testing out if you're going to practice that which you have learned in school. So I guess for me, one of the things that I came to realize in campus when we were doing psychology, one of the courses that we are learning, they talked about the types of intelligences. And then I realized, oh my God, what if parents knew about this? What if our siblings knew about this? What if our caregivers knew about this? What if our school systems understood there are various types of intelligences? Then they would stop trying to make all children fall in a certain category. If they are not good at a certain space, maybe they're not good at doing tests, but they are good at sports, then we will totally understand them. Now, I'm going to mention something. Maybe you can do a bit of research on your own, but maybe I will expound further because I don't want this video to be too long. I will expound further on the various types on intelligences over time. But for now, I just want to mention there's this psychologist. He's called Howard Gardner. He came up with a theory of multiple intelligences. And it suggests that there is more to being intelligent than simply being good at maths and English or learning a second language. So, so in short, you are not stupid. You and I are not stupid. If life is making you feel stupid, if you are in environments where you feel like you're not smart enough, it is not true. It is not true at all, because there are various types of intelligences. And even the fact that you're not very good at math, it does not mean that you cannot actually be good at math. So it is that having been like trauma does that. It kind of, being exposed to the world sometimes can strip you of your ability to have that autonomy, to believe in yourself, to believe that you're actually good enough. But if no one ever really told you, then let this be a sign for you that you are not actually stupid. So let us look at the various types of intelligences by Howard Gardner. He talks about 9 types of intelligences. The first one is spatial intelligence, which is actually, it means like visualizing the world in 3D. There's also the naturalists. intelligence, where the naturalist understands and has understanding of living things and reading nature. Then we have musical intelligence, which is discerning sounds, their pitch, tone, rhythm, and timbre. There's logical, mathematical, which is quantifying things and making hypotheses and proving them. There's also existential intelligence, where these are people who tackle the questions of why we live and why we die. We see this in spiritual leaders, and also maybe in therapists and coaches. They answer they strive to answer those questions. We also see interpersonal types of intelligences, and that means sensing people's feelings and motives. There's also bodily or bodily kinesthetic, which entails coordinating your mind with your body. These are the people you see, the gym instructors and people who help us with yoga and all those practices, spiritual practices. There's also linguistic. This means finding the right words to express what you actually mean. That is linguistic intelligence. These are people who are actually good with grammar as well. We also see intrapersonal, which is the understanding yourself, what you feel, and what you want. And so those are the few, just to mention the types of intelligences by Howard Gardner. Why am I saying, and why is this important? Because like I've said, it is all about realizing that you and I are not stupid. And actually there are other types of geniuses that I believe, it is my theory, I believe that we have. There's emotional intelligence, or rather other types of geniuses, other types of intelligences. There's intellectual intelligence, there's emotional intelligence, there's relational intelligence, and there's spiritual intelligence. So those are different types of intelligences, but that is just my theory. And so with that, we can see there's the problem with the world that is, in home and school environments. Unfortunately, without this understanding, we don't understand our children, we don't understand children, we don't understand our the parents don't understand their children, the teachers don't understand the students that they are teaching. And so out of that, there's the tent and the ability to shut down the creativity and innovation with these students, because they are not equipped, or they don't have the understanding on how to support or how to handle these types of intelligences or geniuses that they see in these children. And I will give an example, and comparing them with other children. So let's say, for example, as a teacher, you compare a student to a fellow student. As a parent, you compare a child to another child in front of them. That is not right. We need to learn how to understand these intelligences, so that we can know how to accommodate these other types of intelligences, so that we are able to accommodate them, and we are able to help them nurture and grow those skills and abilities, so that they can shine in the world and bring change and transformation that perhaps they will have brought if they felt that they were supported in the environment they were in. And so let's say, for example, we see that in terms of children not being gifted, you can see there are children who perhaps they are very good at content creation. And you can see a child coming up to you and they say, mom, I want to start a YouTube channel. Mom, I want to start a YouTube channel. But because you think that this child is only supposed to excel in studies, then you tell them that it is probably not the right time for them to start that YouTube channel, and you kind of snuff out that hope and dream that this young child has. And it's probably something very good that they will have tried to explore, and perhaps they will have changed and evolved over time, perhaps dropped that thing and perhaps picked up something else, but you deny them the opportunity to explore that which they are naturally gifted at. So what happens is these children end up growing up and feel like, no matter what I do, I'm not supported in my skill, I'm not supported in my craft. And so they try to do these things behind your back, or they end up becoming depressed, because that sometimes I believe that even with mental illnesses that we see, let's say for example ADHD, it is that child has a very high capacity for creativity, but because they were not supported, perhaps they don't find a safe environment to express their creative abilities, then they start becoming emotionally sick or psychologically sick. So it is important for us to have this understanding of the different types of intelligences. And I always tell people that even as a parent, even as a caregiver, it is easier for you to support a child if you yourself feel like you are exploring the chances that you have. And sometimes parents have this excuse of, I'm too old. There's nothing like being too old. There's nothing like being too old to go back to the things that you used to love to do when you were a child. If you loved painting, then perhaps it's maybe time for you to go back and buy something to, I don't know what they are called. Please remind me. Let me know in the comment section what they are called. But something a board that you can use to like paint and draw your creative imaginations there, and you start reactivating those gifts. It is never too late. When you do that for yourself, then you will create that space for your own children. It is easy for me to come on here and tell you, do not do this for your children. Do not do this for your children. But what about you? If you feel like you have never been given the ability, or you were never given space by your own parents or your teachers in school to creatively express yourself, how are you going to create a space for somebody else when you yourself feel that you are not given that space? So it is important for you to start it, and as you do it, perhaps you can involve your children and let them explore their creative gifts. And as a school, as a religious system or organization, as a home, I want to encourage you that it is not too late to change. It is not too late to bring that change and believe in these gifts and different abilities that children or even us as adults have. So with that said, I want to sincerely apologize. This is the part that actually made me almost cry last night. I sincerely want to apologize on behalf of your parents, on behalf of your caregivers, on behalf of your school systems, for making you believe that you are not gifted or smart enough. I sincerely apologize for the times they made you feel small and stripped your sense of autonomy to make you look like them. I sincerely apologize. I don't have to apologize to you, and it's probably something that you never thought you ever needed to hear. But if you never pause to think that you will ever need an apology, then just receive it. I am sincerely sorry, and I want to tell you it is not too late for you to go back and to embrace the call to reclaim your original genius, to reclaim your original intellect, to reclaim your unique intellect. It is not too late to reconnect with that part of yourself. And with that said, I want to end my episode here. I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to call upon you as well to subscribe, to turn on the post notification bell, and comment and share this video if you feel like it was very insightful and helpful. I also want to invite you to follow our series. We'll be uploading the next episode next week on Saturday, same time, and also to follow our social media platforms and join our WhatsApp community. With that said, I want to sincerely once more acknowledge and thank each and every one of you for taking the time to like, share, and subscribe, for turning on the post notifications, for sharing these videos, for really following through with the series. Let me know in the comment section if there is something that you'll still want me to expound on. Do you want me to create a video to talk about the different types of intelligences? Do you want me to host a guest to come and talk to us about the different types of intelligences? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you'd like to learn, and I will do my very best to bring that content to you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, originally Maryanne, out.